It's Wednesday, so that means it's time for a favorite find. And this week's favorite find comes all the way from Port Charlotte, Florida. Thank you very much, Tom, for sending it in. It's a souvenir key from A Century of Progress International Exposition, which was the first World's Fair to happen in Chicago since the previous World's Fair, which is the one that I always think about, the 1893 Columbian Exposition. I will say, I've been inundated with some World's Fair stuff. I had no clue there were so many World's Fairs, just tons of them. But anyway, back to this particular one. In 1933 in Chicago, they had another World's Fair. And the idea was a century of progress from 1833 to 1933. It was an incredibly popular World's Fair. It attracted 39 million visitors. So popular, in fact, that it was originally slated just to be open for the 1 year, and they went over into 1934, kept it running there too. It took place on Northerly Island, which is another man-made island. So now we've covered two items from two different World's Fairs on two different man-made islands. So I'm also starting to understand there's a lot of man-made islands that we have stuff happen on that I was not aware of. So thank you very much for sending me down this rabbit hole. Now, when he first sent in the picture of the key, I looked for other versions of this because clearly it's corroded. It's pretty rough, but a hell of a cool looking key though. I couldn't find one. I had mentioned it on, I guess, last week's favorite find video, and luckily he sent me a picture. So here's a picture of what it would look like before it was, deteriorated by salt, sand, time, the stuff that ravages brass that we may find. I do like, though, on the description in that picture, it's at the bottom, it's like, send one of these souvenir spoons to one of your friends, whatever, mail it to someone. And I got to thinking about that, like, when's the last time you bought a souvenir and mailed it to someone? Never. I've never done it, but I'm gonna do it because I think it's a good idea. So this year I will send out 5 souvenirs. So I think that's a little thing I promised I'd do myself. Also, we need to bring back writing letters. Write a letter or send a postcard to somebody, okay? Not to get too far off topic, but it's something I believe in. At this particular World's Fair, the focus was really, as most World's Fair are, achievements, but more so like future innovations. And there was some kind of quote, and I'm about to murder it, but it was basically like, I'm going to screw it up, but it was like basically science invents, the world adopts, man conforms. I'm close. It's not right. I know it's not right, but it's something like that. The idea being that, we make these innovations and we change. I mean, look, if you were alive before the iPhone and then after the iPhone, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It changed everything, probably for the worse, but what can you do? You conform, you adapt. On the particular key itself, you got a couple different buildings. That's another cool thing about it. So in the round part, it depicts Fort Dearborn, and the key part, where you would have like the ridges, are a couple buildings. So you have like the Hall of Science. Somewhere on the key, it depicts the Administration Planetarium. I'm always fascinated by the marketing drive behind the aesthetic of souvenirs over the years. Like these days, souvenirs kind of suck, for lack of a better word. I go places, I'll get like a fridge magnet. They're always junk. But this key is brass, and it survived. It made it all the way to Port Charlotte, Florida, from Chicago. And not only did it make it there, but it survived an environment that is not conducive to brass. Okay, so I'm sure when Tom found this, it was a really cool thing, but I bet it sounded so weird too. Like, look at the shape of it. This is an odd thing. The sweetest sounding things on a metal detector are usually round. There's a reason for that, I guess. So I've always heard that. If you know better, let me know in the comments. Tell me about that. But it's just another good reason to always dig those big, weird sounds. Just dig them up. If it beeps, then it repeats, dig it. You got nothing to lose. I've said it a million times. There's all these guys on YouTube all over the place. Man, they will show you 35 different ways not to dig up something. Oh, change the program. Oh, let's turn on at 90 degrees. Oh, let's do this. Why don't I do a rain dance? And maybe the notion will strike me. Let me just go ahead and change 55 settings on my metal detector. If it beeps and it repeats, just dig it, okay? The best discrimination you have is your shovel. The shovel of truth tells no tales. Dig it up. I just, it's almost like there's a whole cottage industry of like, how to not dig something. Let me convince you how to not dig something. I'm getting on a diatribe here. I'm sorry, guys, but it gets to me because this is something I believe in. Laziness robs you of treasure. These favorite finds that are being sent to me, and I appreciate them so much, you just don't even know. A lot of them were found because they dug, all of them were found because they dug it, okay? But not all of them would have sounded the sweetest, okay? Dig the target. If something happens to me and I never make any more videos and this is the only video you ever see of me or whatever, the idea of just dig the target, okay? That's what I want to pass on to all of you. Dig the target. Man, what else? Okay, see, I got us so far off track. We got to get back to a century of progress, innovation, exposition. I can only imagine what it was like when they were planning this. Right, 40 years previous, they have the 1893 Columbian Exposition, which, by the way, I have a silver souvenir spoon from. Not to toot my own horn, but it's got to be a big ordeal to plan something like this, right? And especially like in 33, America's rough. Times are tough. So to get 39 million visitors in the midst of the Depression, pretty serious accomplishment. But also, so they had like an exposition where they showed like homes of the future, and some of those homes were moved to Indiana Dunes National Park. Now I don't know if they're still there, but maybe. I do know if you ever get a chance to go to the Ford Innovation Museum, on display there they do have like a house that was one of like a futuristic home design. It was really cool. It looks like a UFO, definitely from like the atomic era design. But basically, it's a flying saucer. It's so cool. If you get a chance to visit it, do it. I would like to go back there. It's really cool. I've probably gotten so far off track here, but needless to say, this is a great find. It's one of those things that I'll probably never find. I would like to find one. If you found one like it, send it to me. I'd love to see it, and I'll let Tom know that at least one other person has found one of these keys. It's just really cool. And if you look online, it's not like there's I found no other example available for purchase. So really cool find. Thank you so much, Tom, for sending it in. If you have a favorite find you'd like me to show, email me. Also, if you just want some stickers or any other swag that I may have at the time, I get that treasure at gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. I'll send you stickers free of charge. All you gotta do is ask. I will sit down and put them in an envelope and I will mail them to you. If you've received some, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Say, hey, I got them. Because I've sent out a lot more so far this year. It's been really crazy. I can't thank you guys enough for the support. Let's see. That about covers it for this particular favorite find. I'm going to see you next Friday, or this Friday, with a walk and talk. We got some news, some exciting things happening. Maybe I'll do some affiliate stuff. I don't know. We'll see. I'll leave it up to you guys. If it doesn't benefit the people who watch my content, I'm not going to do it. So I'll always promise you that. If I can do something that will benefit the people who watch my content, I will. But if it doesn't, I'm not just going to reach out to try to grab money. I guarantee you that. So anyway, I hope you guys get out there. I hope you get that treasure. I'll see you Friday with a walk and talk. And thank you so much for watching.